Good morning, Professor Chong. My name is Jeff Odoms. I am in your MAN 4120 class of leadership, and I wanted to give you a short version of what chapters 6 and 7 spoke of for this extra credit project. Chapter 6 focused on moral leadership and the courage to be a moral leader. And what that simply means is that the person in the leadership position needs to have a character that allows them to do the right thing for the right reasons all the time. It wants to give them the opportunity to respond to problems, respond to situations that are occurring in the most ethical manner possible. Chapter 6 goes on to speak of different leadership styles and some of the characteristics of those styles. For example, authoritarian style is where a leader feels that he has to control his people and basically give direction and lead from a position of autonomy, where he speaks and they basically listen without them having too much of a voice and opportunity to share their perspective. At times, that might be the way to go when a defined response to a particular situation may be necessary. Uh, Sometimes it's considered a more conventional style of leadership and management, something of maybe a past generation found more familiar. But in today's world, things are a little bit different, and opportunities for management and leaders to work with their work team are more prevalent and seem to be better suited for today's corporate environment. That brings us to participative leadership style. And I did have some notes, so forgive me for looking down, but participative management has to do with having the opportunity for the leader and manager to interact with his work team, to garner their information, to garner their perspective. You'll find this a lot with brainstorming. You'll find this a lot with problem solving. I work in a wastewater treatment plant. At times there are very many types of emergencies that arise and operational decisions have to be made, and sometimes they have to be done more of an authoritarian style. But for the most part, they are participative, where we get with the operators, garner everyone's perspective, and take suggestions as to what the best course of action might be, and then move together towards that resolved or pinpointed action to correct the situation. So that's an example of participative. We also have stewardship and servant leader. And stewardship has to do with the leader feeling an obligation to. I would like to read the definition. A belief that leaders are deeply accountable to others as well as to the organization, without trying to control others, define meaning and purpose for others, or take care of others. And basically, what that's saying is that the leader is just basically taking control of the entire operation, feeling as though it all belongs to him to control and to make sure it's on course. I can honestly say I've done that at times, feeling like the whole thing is on my shoulder. Um, but sometimes that's necessary, because sometimes it's only the leader that truly garners the full scope of what the situation is called for. And sometimes they have to make it a personal mission to see that everything is carried out in the proper manner. I find myself at times to be a servant leader, one where I look at the people that I work with, the people that I supervise, and I look at them and I decide and I see where their potential garners them to be even further down the road in their career. I've recently done this with about 3 or 4 of my personal employees, where I've looked at other opportunities with other organizations and encouraged them to move forward, knowing that it was going to be better for them in the long run, that they would earn money, higher wages, and have a stronger career path to higher positions. And I have no problem doing that, because I do believe that at times you have to push people even to better themselves and to be encourage them to do better for themselves. I'm going to jump to chapter 7 real quick, and that was talking about followership. And in followership, the idea there is to, from the position you hold in the organization, whether you be a manager, a leader, sometimes you're a go-between between lower echelon personnel and upper personnel. The idea there is you have to function, you have to have a qualitative function wherever you are in the organization. So, for example, I should have the ability to be able to speak to those above my head, to talk to them, to encourage them, to let them know where the organization may be going on or the operation may be going awry. Sometimes it takes a lot of courage to do that. Sometimes it takes a lot of, you have to put yourself in a lower position. You have to put yourself, you have to recognize your role, I guess is what I'm saying. And encouraging management is a good role. Now, I have a new manager right now, and I can honestly say that it's difficult. I've been in my position for 21 years. He's just coming in. So I have to encourage him, and I have to show him the ropes, and I have to provide him at least some guidelines and some standard operating procedure discussions. That's what good followership is, and to recognize when the process is going off to the left or to the right of what our goals are, and to apprise them of those things, because my ultimate goal is not just to save my own or have my own position, but to help the organization grow as a unit, because as we grow as a unit, we all benefit from that. So being an effective follower has to do with understanding, as an employee, that employee has the opportunity and ability to speak to their management team, to their leadership team, to encourage them to do what the things they need to do, to advise them of information and on anything that is occurring within the organization. And organizations themselves have to begin to foster opportunities for employees to feel comfortable to do that. In today's corporate world, we're finding more and more people, more and more companies, I should say, are beginning to develop opportunities, classes, feedback sessions, surveys, and anything they can find that are effective ways for the employees to give feedback to their leadership and management team. They're realizing that this is a valuable resource and a valuable place to get information, and it helps the overall organization to grow because of this internal information source. So that's my little summary of chapter 6 and 7. You said 7 minutes. I'm a little long-winded. I apologize. I'm over 8 minutes now, but hopefully it is what you're. It was a good explanation, a good summary, and hopefully you'll find it informative. Thank you. Have a good day.